We, the Biafrans, reject the global conspiracy against the Biafran people. At this moment, we use this media to demand the unconditional release of the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, Mazi Simon Ekpa Joko, who the Finland authority have held incommunicado for long now. They say they are investigating, and it's been months up to now. No charge has been brought against the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra. We hereby demand the immediate release, the unconditional release of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. The global conspiracy against the Biafrans is unacceptable. We will never, ever accept it. It doesn't matter how they try to paint it, the whole world is watching. And it is sad that the world is silent, watching the atrocities committed against the Biafran people. Mazi Simon Ekpa is only asking for the freedom of his own people. He's only defending his own people, trying to save the innocent lives that are being wasted away. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa now.
I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra. My right to agitate. My right. They turned it from yesterday now to terrorism.
Breaking news reaching us now. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has been arrested, extradited to Nigeria, and is right now being arraigned at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu is facing charges bordering on treasonable felony instituted against him at the Federal High Court.
It was an unjust war.
Long ago, in the heart of Biafra, a nation was born from the ashes of war. A war that scarred the land and its people, yet it never killed the spirit of freedom.
The war aim of Biafra is purely to prevent ourselves being slaughtered, nothing more.
It was in this land, scarred by conflict, that Nnamdi Kanu was born, a son destined to revive the dream of independence for Biafra.
And if anybody is going to judge our success and failure in this war, it will have to depend on how much we have prevented the enemy from killing us.
Raised with the echoes of his ancestors' struggles, Kanu understood that the wounds of war ran deep in the hearts of his people. The scars from the Biafran War, which ravaged the land and cost countless lives, had never healed. The dream of an independent Biafra, broken but not forgotten, lived on in the hearts of those who survived. It was these voices, these memories, that called him to action. As Nnamdi Kanu grew, so did his voice. He became a preacher of justice, a messenger for those who were unheard. He spoke not just for his generation, but for all those whose lives were shattered by the war. The pain of the past was alive within him, and his words resonated with the cries of the oppressed.
That's why they're detained. Their children have been there for a very long time. Usman Abubakar is
is also there.
But as Kanu's message spread, so did the fear of the establishment. His calls for self-determination grew louder, shaking the very foundations of the government. They feared the revival of a Biafran spirit, one that could awaken the wounds of the past and ignite a new conflict. And so, they moved against him. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, his body captured, but his spirit unbroken. The authorities believed that imprisoning him would extinguish the fire he had started. But they failed to understand the depths of his cause. The pain of the war, the bloodshed of the past, was not something easily forgotten. It was a flame that could never be fully extinguished. His arrest became a symbol of the struggle that began in the blood-soaked fields of the Biafran War. The demand for freedom was still alive. The fight for justice continued, not just for Nnamdi Kanu, but for all the lives lost, for all the children born into a world of scars. The fight for Biafra is not just his fight. It is the fight of all those who have ever dreamed of a free land. And though the past may haunt the present, the future is still unwritten. As long as the story of Nnamdi Kanu is told, as long as the voices of his people rise, the dream of Biafra lives on. Arrested again, 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 and yet again.
I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra, my right to agitate, my right. They turned it from treasonable felony now to terrorism.
This is Nnamdi Kanu speaking. Biafra land, listen. They thought they could silence me, but they didn't just cage me. They caged your spirit. They made you forget that our land still bleeds, that our people still suffer, that nothing has changed. 5 years in chains. But what about you? Are you not free? Or have they bound your voice with fear? The struggle was never about me, it was about you, your children, your land, your future. So I ask you, where is the fire that once burned in your heart? Where is the voice that once roared for freedom? Wake up! Rise again. Speak. Act. Remember who you are. This is Nnamdi Kanu.
Going to pray in the language of heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chukwu okike abịa mapụrụ m ihe niile, Chineke na onye ndị nsọ na-efe wee na-akpụ isi ala nye onye anyị na-agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile, onye anyị na-aja mma wee na-eto anyị enweghị iche ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị anaghị efe arụsị, ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana onweghị onye kere ya. Ọ bụ ya mere ndị gboo ji wee na-etu gị ebighị ebi. Ndị nsọ na-agba oche eze gị okirikiri ha na-akpụ isi ala nye gị, ọbụladị ndị okenye oru 2 na 4 bụ ndị na-atụ mkpọ ọla edo na ala ha niile si na-ede nsọ Chineke nna nke igwe. N'ụtụtụ a, ehihie, abalị, n'ụwa niile bụ ebe ụmụ gị gbasasịrị ka ụkpaka nna nke ebere dị ngọzi ka anyị na-akpọkọta ha eze ebube n'ime eluigwe wee na-arịọ gị mma gị na ebere gị, amara gị na ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị nọ. anyị wee na-arịọ ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị ezi ebube dị ngọzi ka iwe tinye ọgbaghara n'etiti ndị iro, ka ha rabụ ndị kụziri ka ha wee megide anyị, onye nwe m na Chineke nna dị nsọ, ka aka nsị ndị dị etu a wee baa ha ọnụ, ije obodo ekwensu bụ zuu wee laa ya n'iyi. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị, onye na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, biko nụ ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ọsọ. Going to pray in the language of heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chukwu okike abịa mapụrụ m ihe niile, Chineke na onye ndị nsọ na-efe wee na-akpụ isi ala nye onye anyị na-agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile, onye anyị na-aja mma wee na-eto anyị enweghị iche ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị anaghị efe arụsị, ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye kere ihe niile kere eke, mana onweghị onye kere ya. Ọ bụ ya mere ndị Igbo ji wee na-etu gị ebighị ebi. Ndị nsọ na-agba oche eze gị okirikiri, ha na-akpụ isi ala nye gị, ọbụladị ndị okenye oru abụọ na anọ bụ ndị na-atụ mkpọ ọla edo na ala, ha niile si na ịdị nsọ Chineke nna nke igwe. N'ụtụtụ a, ehihie, abalị, n'ụwa niile bụ ebe ụmụ gị gbasasịrị ka ụkpaka nna nke ebere dị ngọzi, ka anyị na-akpọkọta ha eze ebube onye ime eluigwe, wee na-arịọ gị ma mma gị na ebere gị, amara gị na ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị nọ. Anyị wee na-arịọ ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị ezi ebube dị ngọzi ka iwe tinye ọgbaghara n'etiti ndị iro, ka ha rabụ ndị kụziri ka ha wee megide anyị, onye nwe m na Chineke nna dị nsọ, ka aka nsị ndị dị etu a wee baa ha ọnụ, ije obodo ekwensu bụ zuu wee laa ya n'iyi. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị, onye na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, biko nụ ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ọsọ ọsọ nna nke ebere, na ụmụ gị atakwala n'ahụhụ. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị ka iwe na anyị ezi echiche na amamihe, mmekọrịta nwanne na nwanne, ịdị n'otu ọganiru, ịhụnanya nke pụrụ iche, onye nwe m na Chineke nna, ka iwe tinye ụmụ gị ezi mmụọ nke eziokwu, ma wezuga anyị aka ajọ ihe n'ime ndụ anyị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Ka ọ ga-abụ na ikpeta mazị na Biafra ga-abịa, anyị ga-aja gị mma wee too gị, wee gọzie aha nsọ gị, isi ala nye gị, bulie aha nsọ gị elu site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi, ka a na-arịọ gị ise ise ise. This very morning, all of you, I believe that those who are watching know who we are and why we do what we do. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra all over this very planet Earth, the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, Some of you idiots that have only power and glory and money making. Some of you idiots that have only power and glory and money making at heart.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on today's program, wherever you are joining. I appreciate you for being part of this program. Wherever you are connecting from, I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect you as you join us. Please, as you join, like and share to other platforms. Share to family and friends. Share to anyone you can be able to reach. Try as much as possible to reach them so that they can join us on this amazing program. Every day when we come to this very platform, we know what we do and you know where we are. This platform where you are watching this program is a platform that is under the United States of Biafra. The United States of Biafra, under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the supreme command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, under the leadership of the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Wherever you are watching us from, I urge you to help us like and share this program so that we can reach to the people we are supposed to reach. In as much as we have a lot of restrictions in our platform, we will continue to do what we have to do to make sure that the message gets to those who needs it. You can equally play a role by supporting to make sure that this message gets to those who needs it. How do you do that? You are going to do that by helping us to share and participate actively on the program today. Every blessed day, as we always do, we come here and we talk, preach about the message of Biafra. This is what we do. We will continue to do so until Biafra is restored. It doesn't matter what the enemies are thinking. It doesn't matter their propaganda or their blackmail. It doesn't matter their line of thought. It doesn't matter what their plan is. We will continue to speak. We will continue to enlighten the Biafran people in our program. As we have come again today, please feel free to join us on the platform if you want to join us to make a contribution. Feel free to join us and make your contribution. The only qualification you need to join us in this platform is to be a human being. As long as you are human, you can join us. All you need to do is to go to the comment section. When you get to the comment section, you are going to see the link on the comment section. Click on that link and you will find yourself in the program. The only thing we ask from you is that when you are appearing, please appear in a decent manner. And while making your contribution on this program, try as much as possible to speak in a civil manner so that the Biafrans can digest whatever you are presenting to them, so that the world can understand you. If you have a superior argument, you are welcome. Bring on your superior argument. We are ready to learn from you, or you learn from us. We know that so many people are getting wrong information from different places. People are believing what is not obtainable. But regardless what happens, regardless what they say or what you hear, we will continue to do the right thing. As long as we are obeying all the international laws, just as we have signed into treaty many of the laws that guide the international community, and we are ready to obey and abide by it. wherever you are joining us from, I urge you to please kindly play your own part. Do what you have to do by sharing this program. It is very, very important for you to share. By sharing the program, you are playing a very important role on the radical evangelism, which we have been advised to engage in. That radical evangelism is to make sure that everyone gets this message of Biafra. A truthful message, a message that is meant to save life, a message that is meant to save humanity. You have to be part of that message and make sure you preach it to the ends of the world. Today we have come once again, as we always do. And we have chosen a topic today which says, the Redeclaration of the United States of Biafra is signed and sealed, and Biafra's sovereignty respected. That's a little bit. Biafra's sovereignty must be respected, yeah. Biafra's sovereignty must be respected. I'm going to correct that later. So, my fellow Biafrans, I want to remind you once again that Biafra is now a sovereign state. Sometimes we do forget, because we have been in the contraption called Nigeria for a very long time. It is difficult for some people to digest the fact that we are now a free nation. But that is the truth. If you were part of those that voted on that self-referendum, I am speaking to you. This message is not for those who do not believe in the cause of Biafra. This is not a message for the outsiders. It is a message for those 50 million, more than 50 million people that casted their vote for the restoration of Biafra, gave the mandate to the United States of Biafra government, and the United States of Biafra government went ahead on the 29th of November 2024 and declared the sovereign state of Biafra, called the United States of Biafra. From that 29th onwards, the United States of Biafra has become a sovereign state. Even though the terrorist government continue to occupy our land, though they continue to occupy our spaces, but that does not change the fact that we now have a sovereign state. It is you and I that will bring Biafra to reality. Sometimes when we come on program, we present things that are happening in the contraption called Nigeria, the occupying forces, what they are doing, the atrocities that Nigeria has committed in our territory. It is very important that we bring that to the notice of the world. But that doesn't mean that we negate the fact that we are now a sovereign state. That is why anybody that is in Biafra territory today is serving the enemy. It doesn't matter if you are serving as a governor, as a minister, a local government chairman, whatever position you are holding in Biafra land, representing Nigeria, is illegal. It is illegal. Maybe you don't know. Now you know. Every one of us as Biafrans, more than 50 million people that casted their vote, if you actually know what you voted for, and when you voted, you meant it, you should begin to act, because your request has been granted. Begin to behave like somebody who is in a free country. Start detaching yourself from everything that has to do with the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Everything that has to do with Nigeria, detach yourself from it. If you participated in that very self-referendum and your vote was there, you have no business with Nigeria election. We know that they will not go without a fight. But you that casted that vote, you have no business with Nigeria election. It does not matter what they preach. It doesn't matter where they host it. If they do it even in your doorpost, you don't have to be part of it because you know that it is illegitimate. This is not the time to beg you and tell you not to go and cast your vote. This is not the time to come and preach and say, oh, don't go and participate in the vote. No vote in Biafra land. Already, we are a free nation. And every single thing that is being carried out in our territory by the Zoological Republic government is illegal. And when you get yourself involved in such activities and something happens to you, you will face the consequence of your action. And by the way, supporting any program that Nigerian government presents in Biafran territory makes you an associate to the terrorist organization. When you support and promote what the terrorist government of Nigeria is presented in Biafra territory, you are promoting terrorism, and you are going to face the same fate that they face when you come across the Liberation Army of Biafra. Biafra is a sovereign state. The earlier you understand that, the better for every one of us. I know it is very difficult for some of you to digest. It is difficult for some of you to understand. But this is a fact that has come to stay, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Wherever you are as a Biafran today, your concern should be, what are you going to do to see that the sovereign state of Biafra protect its territory? The eviction of the occupying forces in Biafran territory is ongoing as we speak. The eviction of the occupying forces in Biafran territory, it's ongoing. Do not forget that everything that is being done today is done officially according to law. The Biafran government have officially written to Nigerian government about the sovereignty of Biafra and Redeclaration of Biafra. An international law warrants that they must obey that law and respect our sovereignty and our territory. But because they are an occupying forces who want to occupy our land by fire, by force, they will never listen. And they will not go without a fight. That is where every Biafran has to prepare him or herself. Remember, our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, said it, that even after our declaration, do not expect that this bunch of terrorists will disappear. These terrorists in uniform will still be very much around, posing like the almighty, whatever they call themselves, and trying to pretend that nothing's happened. But you must not get distracted. Biafra has been declared. Do not forget that. And I'm speaking to the 50 million people that casted a vote, more than 50 million people. I'm not talking to those who are the one Nigerianists. I'm not talking to those who are not part of the declaration. That is where you understand those who are genuinely and sincerely seeking for freedom. Today, this day that we are in, our Prime Minister told us about today. Everything our Prime Minister have been doing from the day Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped up to this day, every effort he has put, every risk he has taken was because of today that we are in. Was to make sure that that project that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu started, which is declaration of Biafra, restoration of Biafra, is accomplished. So many of us speak so much about restoration of Biafra, and they think it will end up in just saying it and it sounds like that. It doesn't end that way. For Biafra to be restored, we have to go extra miles to do what we have to do. It is not enough to say, I want Biafra restoration or Biafra has been restored. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu took all the risks he took, lost his parents because of the restoration of Biafra. Mazen Simon Ekpa today is detained because of the restoration of Biafra. And all we owe them is to make sure that that Biafra they are targeting to restore is restored. Mazen Simon Ekpa made a vow that he will never disappoint Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He will never allow the legacy of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to die. He took an oath before Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that as long as he continued to pursue the restoration of Biafra, he will be in the front with him. And those of us who are faithful have made the same vow. That as long as the cause of Biafra is concerned, we will continue to speak and pursue it until we fully capture our territory. But today, there are some people that have deviated. They say they no longer want to move forward. They deny the fact that Biafra has been declared. And they are fighting against those who are standing strong to uphold the declaration of Biafra and present it to the world the way it's supposed to be. Biafra will not be declared twice. It has been redeclared. And the only thing we owe ourselves now is to begin to act it out. Freedom doesn't come easy. It doesn't come cheap. There are procedures to restore a country or to create a country. There are international standards that you must meet for you to be able to have a country recognized. There are some homework you have to do. There's some paperwork you need to do. It does not matter how many of you dies. It doesn't matter how many of you protest. It doesn't matter how long you have been protesting. It doesn't matter how many people have died. There are some certain procedures you must pass. Certain paperwork that must be done for a country to be established. That was the area our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa stood his ground to pass through all the legal means acceptable by international law for the restoration of Biafra. Mazi Simon Ekpa went ahead and he told us that during the convention in Finland, where Biafra was declared, that one of the important events that is going to happen that day is that a document will be generated from that very event. He told us that a document will be generated from that event, and with that document that will be generated from that event, it will now authorize us to go ahead and seek for recognition of the United States of Biafra and also go on for the full restoration of the United States of Biafra on the ground. All these things we are explained in ABC. The only thing a faithful Biafran is supposed to be doing today is to pursue and defend the United State of Biafra, which has already been declared on the 29th of November 2024 before the whole world. Every one of us saw the video when the deputy prime minister came on and said, on behalf of the prime minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku, I hereby redeclare that the United States of Biafra going forward becomes a sovereign state. And every one of us celebrated. The video is still online. The only thing we are supposed to do today is to continue to act it out. That is why you see the Government of Biafra program. In the program of Government of Biafra, there is nothing that is being done today as an organization. The Government of Biafra is doing everything accordingly, the way the government is supposed to run it. That is why you have seen the Government of Biafra signing many treaties, signing up to many international treaties. You saw when she displayed the rule of engagement of our Liberation Army. Went ahead to decentralize the Liberation Army and also unify them and made it what it should be. But unfortunately, there are some of us that still want us to go back to being an organization. It is sad. We cannot go back to yesterday. We are going forward. It does not matter how you feel or what you think. Biafra has been redeclared. If you are in Biafran territory today and you do not understand it, understand that everything that has to do with the Zoological Republic called Nigeria in Biafran territory today is illegal, including their elections. In the presence of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, we casted the vote of no confidence on all the politicians and those who are working for the Zoological Republic. How then will you wake up from your sleep, wake up from your home, come back from your job, and you walk with your feet that you want to go and cast a vote to promote Nigeria? How can you be talking of restoration of Biafra and you are promoting Nigeria by participating in their vote in one way or the other? The same way Biafrans have keyed in into sit at home. You know, when we started the sit at home, it looks like an impossible mission. They called it an impossible mission. Some people were saying, how can a Biafran lock up his shop and not do business, all in the name of freedom fighting? They never believe we can do it. That is why they came with propaganda. They say that the sit at home is being enforced. That Mazi Simon Ekpa is enforcing the sit at home. Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing that. But today, even in the absence of Mazi Simon Ekpa, the sit at home has become much more solid than ever. The same thing you did in the sit at home, that is what you are going to do to restore Biafra. To show the world that Biafra has been restored. To take over your land. The way you can take over your land is to de-associate yourself with everything that has to do with Nigeria. Their election, their meeting, their jobs. De-associate yourself with it, from it. There is no way you can be participating on Nigeria events as a Nigerian and you are talking about Biafra. It doesn't work that way. The same thing we applied in the sit at home. That is how you're going to apply. Civil disobedience. De-associate yourself with everything that has to do with the Zoological Republic. Everything that has to do with them, more especially their elections. Remove yourself from it. Remove yourself from it. Except you don't want to be free. Remember, I said this message is for those more than 50 million people that casted their vote, the Biafran people. The whole world is watching what we are going to do after declaration. They are watching us. The whole world is observing. Remember the word of our Prime Minister that it will take time before the recognition will come, but definitely it's going to come. And it will take some time. And Nnamdi Kanu made a statement where he said, consistency is the key. The same way we were consistent in the sit at home. And today, you see, they no longer talk about enforcement of sit at home. They have tried and tried and tried by force, by fire, by coercion. It never worked. And today, they are minding their business. That is the same way we will de-associate ourselves from everything that has to do with the zoo. And I thank Chukwu Okekabima that Biafrans are already doing it. That is why you see in their recruitment of their military, Biafrans de-associate themselves from it. The same way we de-associate ourselves from their recruitment is the same way we de-associate ourselves from their election. From the election. Anything they call. Some of you don't understand it, but for some of us who are paying attention, it's only a fool that we still doubt that Biafrans are gone, that we are gone. We are gone and gone for good. Including those political elites that are pretending, who are playing the drama, including those who are organizing bad days, including those who are staging the ground to make people feel as if we are still with them. They know we are not with them. Those people you see are just less than 1%. These are the people that the Janjaweed are using to showcase the game. You saw the drama they did in Abuja. And I bet you they are going to use that as a reference. The whole world, they're going to look at it as a reference. That, oh, these people are still flexing among Nigeria. They are still in there. They are still doing it. But I bet you, forget about those 1%. Those of us who have casted that vote, more than 50 million. Consistency. Every single thing we are doing is having effect. All those drama they are staging, all those movies they are making, don't allow it to distract you. Do not allow it to get to you. It doesn't matter how they try. It doesn't matter the angle they come from. Do not allow it to get to you. Remain consistent in your desire and pursuit for freedom. It doesn't come cheap. It comes with sacrifice. But I bet you at the end of the day, it worth it. It worth it. As we speak, the Janjaweed know that we are gone. They know that they cannot get us back, but they are trying to steal as much as they can. We do not participate in their protest. We do not participate in their recruitment. In the same way, we are not going to participate in their elections. It doesn't matter where they hold it. Even if they come to your room to hold it. We are not telling you to go and engage them in a fist fight. There are people that are trained for that. And when the time is right for them to come, they are going to come. But for you, that is a Biafran, de-associate yourself from everything that has to do with the Zoological Republic. That is one of the ways you are going to attract our recognition. When we are talking about this recognition, everybody has a role to play in the recognition of Biafra. In case you do not know, we all have a role to play. We all have a role to play. Do not be deceived. And do not allow anyone to distract you. We all have a role to play. And when the time comes, our voice will be heard. A lot is going on as we speak. Diplomatic level. And in a short while, recognition is going to be flowing in. It will not be business as usual. But before then, you as a person, there is a role you have to play. Our Liberation Army on the ground, we appreciate them and they are doing a wonderful job defending the land of Biafra through self-defense, making sure that our land is protected. We know that the enemies will never give up. The enemies will always come in at every given opportunity, but I bet you, it does not matter how they try. They will never succeed. No matter how they try, they will never succeed. And I urge everyone that is watching this program today, wherever you're watching from, I want you to understand that we have a responsibility. A very serious one at that. That responsibility is to make sure that our recognition and full restoration of the ground is done. Deassociate yourself from everything that has to do with the Zoological Republic. The earlier you do that, the better for all of us. Nigeria does not mean well for you. It does not mean well for me. And they are not hiding it. Most of the things we come here to talk about or complain about are things that are in the public. Only that some of us, even when we see those things, we pretend it's not happening. We think by our wishful thinking we can wish those things away. No. The evil doesn't go away because of your wishful thinking. No. It doesn't just go out. You must begin to do something. And do something now. Every one of us must begin to put our actions to work. Because where we found ourselves, the terrorist government of Nigeria is intensifying in their criminality. They are not ready to change. They are getting worse by day. Yesterday, you saw the video we played, how even foreigners are bold to commit atrocities in Nigeria, something they can't do in their own country. They do it brazenly in the open and they don't care a damn what is going to happen. Because that is what the country gives, a fraudulent country that only fraudsters can be able to succeed in it. We don't want to be part of it. We don't want to be part of that atrocity. And that is why we are doing everything humanly possible to get out of it as soon as possible. And we are out already. Wherever you are as a Biafran, this journey belongs to all of us. We must put our hands together and support the United States of Biafra in any way we can. Support your own government financially, morally, spiritually. Give your government that support. And remember, there is only one United States of Biafra government. There are not two. For those of you who will get confused, do not get confused. There is only one United States of Biafra government. Under the command of our Prime Minister, Nnamdi, and of the Supreme Command of Nnamdi Kanu. Today, under the leadership of the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Oraboye, the surrogate to our Prime Minister, Nnamdi. That is where we are. Building on the foundation laid, following the structure put in place by the Prime Minister, Nnamdi Kanu. And there's nothing anybody can do to make us walk away. If you think you can make us walk away, try again. Keep trying. But I promise you, no matter how many times you try, you're going to fail 1,000 times. Because the prayer of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that he prayed was not in vain. When he was asking for people to join him in this quest for the restoration of Biafra, he cried out for people to come along. He cried out for a very long time. And Chukwu Okike answered him in Israel and told him, when that time comes, I will send people who are going to embark in this journey with you. And I strongly believe that the time has come. The time has come. And that is why you must not back down. If you find yourself in the boat today selling, if you find yourself in this ship, just make sure you hold your seatbelt tight. Don't allow anybody to take away your seat. Because if you lose your seat, you might not get it again. Never. You might never, ever get it again. My fellow Biafrans that are watching, wherever you're watching from, the gospel of the restoration of Biafra belongs to all of us. Always remind your neighbor, your sister, your brother, your uncles, that we are in our nation, Biafra. And everything we must project now is Biafra. Do not pay attention to the destruction of the zoo. Don't pay attention. They will continue to distract. They're not going to stop. They will continue to distract. But I bet you, by the time you develop thick skin, like so many of us, they're going to let you be. And at the right time, they themselves are going to walk away. Because already they know it's over. It is over. There's nothing anybody can say. There's nothing anybody can do to change the situation that you see now. It's impossible. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are, every one of us must sit up. Sit up and focus on those things that matters. Because the nation Biafra belongs to us, and we are not going to give it up for anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. As we continue, let us listen to our coming intro for you to know what is coming up and what is going to happen. Remember, we are still looking forward to the 30th of May. One of the most important days also that we have in our calendar, a day we remember and celebrate our heroes. It is a day we will never forget. And wherever you are in Biafra land, you must prepare for the Heroes Day. And those of us who are in the United States, I'm sure you must have gotten your ticket by now. It is very important that every one of us in the United States must be in that program. The inauguration of our office in the United States, Washington, D.C. to be precise, and the Peace Summit with the Heroes Day celebration. 3 in 1. Make sure you are there. And as you come, Chukwu Okike bless you.
On this day, we gather round to honor the heroes, lest they be forgot by Biafra soldiers.
To all Biafrans worldwide, from the Idoma to the Igede, the Igala to the Ogoni, the Ijo to Wanang, Orong to the Ekit, the Ikwere to the Igbo, and all Biafrans, mark your calendar. A historic moment is upon us. On Friday, May 30th, 2025, the United States of Biafra government proudly invites you, all citizens and allies of Biafra, to a 3-in-1 event to mark the Memorial Day of our heroes and heroines at the first ever Biafra Peace Summit and the inauguration of our DC administrative office, a beacon of hope, strength, and unity for all Biafrans.
Government, not the citizen, build up, we stand up one, united, in our one land, guided, government making us proud every day, blessed by the people.
On this day, we gather round to honor the heroes, lest they be forgot by Biafra's soldiers.
To all Biafrans worldwide, from the Idoma to the Igede, the Igala to the Ogoni, the Ijo to Wanang, Orong to the Ekit, the Ikwere to the Igbo, and all Biafrans, mark your calendar. A historic moment is upon us. On Friday, May 30th, 2025, the United States of Biafra government proudly invites you, all citizens and allies of Biafra, to a 3-in-1 event to mark the Memorial Day of our heroes and heroines at the first ever Biafra Peace Summit and the inauguration of our DC administrative office, a beacon of hope, strength, and unity for all Biafrans.
Government, not the citizen, build up, we stand up one, united, in our one land, guided, government making us proud every day, blessed by the people.
Thank you for your patience. We are having some little issue, but thank you for your patience to hang on there until we get this things through. So, my fellow Biafrans that are watching, wherever you are watching from, we must continue to speak and continue to evangelize and enlighten people. There is one of the video I saw, a statement that was made by the leader of the terrorist group in Nigeria. A statement that was made by that terrorist, the Ottoman Danfodio son, the Sultan of Sokoto, where he was threatening and calling social media a terrorist organization. This is how unserious and evil these people are. They know what they are doing. Sometimes you think they don't know what they are doing. They actually know what they are doing. And they do those things, they do intentionally, just to make sure they distract the world from the real thing. How can you imagine a sensible person in 21st century calling the social media a terrorist organization? It's only a distraction. It's not as if he doesn't know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, and he's intentionally trying to deceive the world about what is happening. By you calling the social media a terrorist organization, it means you yourself, you are part of it. You are calling everybody in the planet Earth terrorists. That is how it has gone to. And that is how the Fulani sees everybody. So when you see us talking about getting out of this very zoological republic so we cannot have anything to do with the Janjaweed, it is because of issues like this.
What happened?
Because these are a bunch of people who do not care about human life. They do not care about human life.
But that's one
all they care about is themselves. That is what they care about. They don't want to know what you are saying. They don't want to listen what you have to say. They want everything to end in their own terms. And how long will people continue to listen to people with this kind of mentality? This is the song to Otman Danfodio. You will hear him here threatening the whole world, calling everybody terrorists. He thinks like everybody is like his own people who are terrorizing every other individual. They don't care how you feel. They don't care what you think. In this video, you are going to hear him in his own world saying that the social media is the terrorist organization that has to be faced. I thank Chukwu Okukabiam for social media. But because today, it is only the social media today that can reveal the evil of the Fulanese. If not for social media, nobody will know the atrocities of the Fulanese today in Nigeria. That is why this Otman Danfodio song is saying that social media is a terrorist organization. After they have committed crime in Nigeria, take innocent life, people do not keep silent. People report it on social media with picture evidence, with video evidence. They get mad. You know, they have succeeded in taking over the conventional media. They have succeeded in gagging the conventional media in Nigeria. The conventional media in Nigeria will never report any atrocity of the Fulanese. They will not. They will not report atrocity of the Fulanese. They will turn a blind eye to it. It's only on social media we get the report. The actual report is gotten in the social media. Just like the one that happened in the massacre that happened in Plateau. And it was that massacre that happened in Plateau that prompted this man to come out and begin to spill rubbish. It is the massacre in Kanu, in Plateau State, because their conventional media doesn't talk about it. They did not report it. And even when you see them talk about it, they underreport it. They're not going to tell you what happened. But when you come to the social media, people express themselves. Eyewitness account, where you can find eyewitness account on the atrocities of Nigerian government against their people is through social media. You cannot get it in the conventional media. You cannot get eyewitness account in the conventional media. Impossible. Who is going to get that energy, that force to come out and speak? Who is that person that will come out boldly and speak about the atrocities of the Janjaweed? Nobody. The only place you can get a report of those atrocities is on the social media. That is why today, people like these terrorists, they see social media as a threat. They see social media as a threat. You can imagine who on this planet Earth today that doesn't have social media account, including he himself that is tying turban in his head. He is also on social media. He will tell you that social media is a terrorist organization. Everybody on this planet Earth today, they are all in social media. So instead of you addressing the atrocities of your own brothers, your children, instead of you to address their evil deed, you want to generalize it and drag everybody into it and tell us that social media is your problem. You want to tell us that social media is your problem. It is not. The only people that we know that commit atrocities in this planet Earth today and destroy lives, innocent lives, is the Fulani Janjaweed. They have done it before. They are still doing it, and they're going to do it again. And they are unapologetic about it. Even this man himself confessed that it's not going to end. It's not going to end. It doesn't matter how you try to wish it away. It's not going to end. It will get worse by day. I want you to listen to him, to what this terrorist
has happened, and it's there written. You can't come and be through social media, but that's one terrorist organization, social media. Social media is a terrorist organization. What they...
You hear him, they are clapping for him. He said, what happened have happened. You don't have to come to the social media and report it. You can imagine the audacity of these terrorists in Nigeria. This is the chief terrorist in Nigeria, boldly coming out to say that when this atrocity is committed, you don't have to report it. He doesn't miss word. You heard it from him that what happened has happened. You don't have to come out and talk about it. And when you do so, you are now the one they regard as the enemy. They are now seeing social media as a threat. That is why he come here and he's bold to call social media a terrorist organization. What nonsense, what audacity. Here the idiot,
what happened has happened.
In his own way.
You can't come and be through social media, but that's one terrorist organization, social media. Social media is a terrorist organization. What they do, put somebody in his comfort room and formulate stories, and you will see that.
Ask this fool, social media, who are they? Who are they in social media? Every people that are there with you, including those idiots that are clapping there, including those idiots that are surrounding you that are clapping, those terrorists that surround you, they are all in social media. When you see them come out and talk, you think they have something to offer. Nothing. They got nothing to say. This is the chief sponsor of the terrorists in Nigeria. He ate them, he abetted them, he defended them. And this is just exactly what he's doing today. Exonerating them, telling you not to report the atrocities, that when you report, you become the enemy. This is a country they are asking you to be part of. I thank you, that Biafrans have left Nigeria.
So, social media is a terrorist organization that we must deal with. Security agencies must deal with this terrorist organization called social media. So we're not happy with what's been happening either on the plateau or other places.
You have heard him. See, this is the only thing the idiot can offer you. You have heard him. Social media is his problem. Social media is his problem. Social media is the only organization he sees. Social media is the only problem. Because it's in social media that they report the atrocities of the Fulanis. If not social media, how will you know what they have committed in Nigeria? Without social media, how can you be able to know the atrocities of Fulanis in Nigeria? The loss of life of innocent people. The lives that have been taken, how will you know?
On this day, we gather round to honor the hero.
It is so sad, but no matter what happens, every one of us must continue to pay attention. We must not get distracted. Do not allow these idiots to distract you. Don't allow them.
What happened has happened, and it's there.
They will always try.
You can't come and be through
to destroy us. Always try.
On this day, we gather round to honor the heroes.
Every one of us must continue to stand strong and stand firm. Do not allow the distractions that are coming from the enemies of Biafra to get you. They will continue to distract you. They will continue to push their evil agenda. They will continue to push their propaganda and blackmails. But you must not allow it to get to you. We have left them, and we left them for good. Wherever you are today as a Biafran, remember that we have only one United States of Biafra. That the only place where our faith lies is in United States of Biafra. There is no other place. We don't have anything in common with these people called the Janjaweed. We don't have anything in common. We don't have anything in common with them. And there's no reason any Biafran will begin to suggest that somehow that you want to consider being with these people. There is no way. We cannot consider being with them, hanging around them, or having anything to do with them. These are a bunch of criminals. They have nothing to offer you, and they will never have anything to offer you. The only place where our faith and hope lies is in the United States of Biafra. And we must continue to do everything humanly possible to protect and defend our land, Biafra. We don't have any other land. The only land we have is Biafra, and we must protect it and defend it by all means possible.
Lest they be forgot by Biafra's soldiers.
To all Biafrans worldwide, from the Idoma to the Gede, the Igala to the Ogoni, the Ijo to Wanang, Orong to the Ekit, the Ikwere to the Igbo, and all Biafrans, mark your calendar, a historic
akara m ihe mbe na-eme mbe si ma achọrọ ofu ukwu ehi ma nke ọzọ mụ achọrọ ehi niile ma ụkwụ ya ma aka ya ma isi ya ma olu ya anyị ga-adọbiri wee pụọ na nke onwe anyị tigata azụ etu anyị nọ tupu ndị ọcha wee bịa ebe a nwa aha obodo ebe a nwe ndị mmadụ n'ime tupu nwa bekee si ebe o si hapụ obodo ya ọ bịa ebe a ọkpọrọ onye nke ọkpọrọ okeke ọkpọrọ okafọ dakata anyị isi ọ sị n'ụbọchị nke taa na anya aha anyị wuzi Naijiria anyị na-aza aha na-enweghị omimi n'ime ya ihe ngwa gị gbasị biko kọwara m ihe Naijiria pụtara enwepụghị kọwara m ọmụa ga-aza aha osimiri ka osimiri ga-aza aha mụnwa n'ihi ihe anyị na-ekwuwu na ebe arụgidere ụlọ a na ọ jọgburu onwe ya ọ dịghị mma Naijiria agaghị emekọtanwu ihe ọzọ ihe ọjọọ emego n'obodo a arụ emego egbugo ndị be anyị aka na-egbukwa anyị ndị Fulani wee chere na mabata be anyị ka na-egbukwa ndị be anyị ruo ụtụtụ echi a na-asị m na ọ ga-adị mma oge ọ na-ekwekwu ka nwee mmekọrịta bụ nke ndị nụkọ nke ndị ụmụnne ha egosighị anyị ọtụtụ mgbe ha kpọrọ anyị asị onye ajụrụ ajụ na-ajụ onwe ya ha jụrụ anyị aja ama njụ onwe anyị agbanyeghị na anyị nwe ngwa ahịa n'ugwu Awụsa agbanyeghị na anyị na-azụ ahịa ebe niile dị iche iche na-eme nke ọma kama onye gara ndụ kpakụ onye ire rie n'ihe ọ Ndụbụisi ka anyị na-ekwu okwu ya ka echehata azụ ebe a ruo obodo anyị ka o wee maa mma wee karịa obodo ndị ọcha na mma ọhịa anyị na-arịọ nwekwe n'ugwu nwee nkwanye ugwu n'ime onwe anyị ọnwa anyị pụọ n'iro a na-etigbu anyị pụọ n'iro okwu okwu asị ọ bụ gịnị ma anyị ji wee ekwu okwu ụmụ ihe ndị a ka anyị sị na anyị agaghị anabatakwa ya ọzọ.
Akụkọ a kọrọ anyị bụ na ọkụkọ na ewu agaghị nzukọ ụmụ anụmanụ a na-emezi mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ịchụ aja ejiri ọkụkọ maọbụ nwụchụ aja mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ime ka Naijiria dị n'otu enwe ha na-eto esi wee kpam akpụrụ ndị Igbo ọ pụtara na anyị bụ ọkụkọ maọbụ ka ọ pụtara na anyị agaghị nzukọ mere ya bụ ihe eji eme anyị bụ ndị Igbo ụdị na ọbara ndị Igbo ahụ kpafu n'obodo Naijiria
ọ bụ site na akpọmasị ihe na-eme anyị dị ka ihe mere ndị ji oge mgbe gara aga etu akụka mba niile dị iche iche ji kpọọ ụmụ Izrel asị a na-egbu ha a na-egbu ha afọ niile aka na-egbu ha o wee ruo oge ugbu anyị asị na ogbugbu a na-egbu anyị na ọ dịghị anyị mma ọ ka mma na onwe ihe kwegbuo anyị wu nwere onwe njem a nke anyị na-aga kama na na-ese etete n'ụtụtụ asị na onwe onye gburu ebe a onwe ha na-ekwu okwu o doo na nyere onwe onye n'aka ụkọchukwu n'ugwu Awụsa ebepụ isi ọnwụghị ofu ugboro ọnwụghị ugboro abụọ ọnwụghị ugboro atọ ọnwụghị ugboro anọ ọ bụ ruo ole mgbe ka a ga-egbugide anyị wee rue anyị asị mba na anyị ga-aga ka anyị nwee ike wee nwere onwe anyị ọ ka mma na anyị nwụrụ ebe anyị na-azọ nwere onwe tụbụ na anyị nọ n'ụlọ etu a mmadụ ibe mabata n'ime ụlọ mbịa gbupụ m isi a sị na-achọghị ụdị nka ọ wụghị anyị maka a ga-eji wee chụọ àjà ọzọ.
You have heard it from our Sudamazi Nnamdi Kanu. Never again. Never ever again. We will never accept such kind of a thing again. They have killed us in the past. They have destroyed life in the past. It is unacceptable. Today, Biafra has been declared. And we will continue to stand our ground to defend our land and to make sure that our voice is being heard. It does not matter what the enemies say. It doesn't matter what the enemies are doing. We must continue to pay attention to the activities of the enemies and continue to move ahead to walk away from the zoological republic. The zoo is not for us. I don't know how else you need to explain it for people to understand. The zoo is not for us, has never been for us, and will never be for us. So wherever you are, you must understand that at this point in time, all you need to do is to stand with your government for the full restoration of Biafra. Stand with your government, regardless what you hear, regardless what you see. We do not have another government except this one that you are seeing, the United States of Biafra government. And we will protect it with everything that we have. Do not be distracted. Do not be deceived. No matter what they tell you, no matter what you hear, always remember that Nigeria is not for you. Nigeria is not for you. The earlier you understand that, the better for you. Nigeria is not for you. It wasn't meant for you. So for those of you who are thinking that somehow that things are going to change and somebody will invite you or something is going to change and Nigeria begin to be for you, sorry to disappoint you, it is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. That is why today we have only one option. And the only option we have today is to support the United States of Biafra. Support the United States of Biafra. And only in that United States of Biafra, you can have life. Only United States of Biafra you can have representation. Only in United States of Biafra, your freedom can be signed and sealed. If you refuse to be part of it, I bet you a time is going to come when you are going to beg for it and you're not going to find it. This time that Chukwu Okikabiyama has given us that opportunity, we must not abuse it. Wherever you are as a Biafran, make sure you seize this opportunity. Make sure you seize this opportunity to do what you have to do. The whole world have known the situation of the Biafrans. The whole world is seeing what is going on. It is no longer hidden. They can continue to pretend and hide it, but it is not hidden anymore. We see a lot of propagandas and blackmail. But you, as a Biafran, you must not get yourself involved in the blackmail, and do not allow the blackmail to distract you. There's the news that we are seeing, and you must not lose focus. It doesn't matter what you see or what you hear. The zoological republic called Nigeria has already ended. They can continue to pretend for all I care, but we know that it has ended. So many organizations are shutting down. More organizations are shutting down in Nigeria. There's a news that the United Nations Humanitarian Agency to shut down operation in Nigeria. Humanitarian Agency in Nigeria of United Nations to shut down. They want to shut down in Nigeria. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Professor Nantewa, decried the impact of the food disaster and insecurity on livelihood in Nigeria. You see, Nigeria has come to an end. They can continue to pretend that they still have something to do. They can continue to pretend that they still have something to offer you. There is nothing to offer. The contraption called Nigeria has come to an end. And anyone that cares today, all you have to do is to prepare yourself for the days ahead. The poverty is going to increase. The insecurity is going to increase. The loss of life is going to increase. Everything is going to be on increase. All you got to do today is tighten your belt and prepare for the worst days ahead. Some of us don't get it. When we speak here and we bring information, we are not telling you this thing for you to get afraid. Neither are we telling you for you to get discouraged. But we are telling you this information for you to be able to brace yourself up and prepare for the days ahead. Prepare for the days ahead. If you don't get prepared, I bet you, when it's going to hit you, you might not be able to survive it. You might not be able to survive it. The only way you can be able to survive the situation is for you to prepare yourself for the days ahead. As long as you are well prepared, it will not be strange when it begins to happen. So many things that are happening today are things that you have been warned about. The Biafran government have warned you about it. Nnamdi Kanu warned you about it. Our Prime Minister Samanaka warned you about it. And some of them today, Dr. Ngozi Oraboeze, have given you information about it and warned. But some of you do not pay attention. You don't take action until when it happens. You say, oh, they said it. Of course, we will continue to speak. Whether you listen or you don't listen, our own responsibility here is to bring information to your doorstep. Action is in your hand. It's left for you to decide either to take action or not to take action. Nobody's going to force you or decide for you what you do or how you do it. But I bet you the earlier you wake up from your sleep, the better for all of us. Some of you who are pretending and thinking that something, somehow, something is going to happen, that a miracle is going to happen, and all of a sudden, things will change. It will only get worse. You better understand it that it will only get worse. It will only get worse. That is why it is important that you prepare yourself ahead of time. Those who are prepared will not going to feel it so much. Biafra has been restored, and we have to work it out. We have to do everything that we can to work it out. It is in our hands. So many things have happened in the past. So many troubles people have passed through. So many obstacles and temptations. So many things. Which one are you going to count? A lot has happened in the past. But I bet you, only those who are sincere to themselves, only those who are sincere to themselves can testify. Not just testifying, they are going to see it and they will overcome it and they will testify of what has happened. My fellow Biafrans that are watching, wherever you are watching from, I appreciate you for joining. We are having some obstruction. If you look at the way we are going today, we are having some obstructions on the program, but I'm just trying to see if I can be able to rectify the issues. Then we'll move on. If we continues, I'm not sure we're going to spend much time on the program today, so that we can be able to rectify it and get back. But no matter what happens, every one of us, we must continue to do what we have to do to make sure that the message is preached to the ends of the earth.
akara m ihe mbe na-eme mbe si ma achọrọ ofu ukwu ehi ma nke ọzọ mụ achọrọ ehi niile ma ụkwụ ya ma aka ya ma isi ya ma olu ya anyị ga-adọbiri wee pụọ na nke onwe anyị.
Why do you think the southeastern youths are so reluctant on joining the army?
The reasons are very obvious.
Which are?
You call them IPOB and terrorist organization, and you have killed them in numbers.
Who killed them?
The Nigerian military.
Killed Southeast youths in numbers?
Southeastern youth, yeah. They are in the Southeast as an army of occupation. And every youth they see in sight is shoot at sight.
In the Southeast?
Yes. These have been
Are the governors aware of this?
Of course, all of them are aware. All of them are.
And what are they doing about it
Especially
if this
that
story
of,
happens to be true?
Especially that of Imo State. In the local government of Hope Uzodinma, you can hardly see any young man there. They have all run away or they were killed. So when you have been doing all this type of underhand dealings with the Southeast, why do you think their youth will be very happy to join the army? Their belief is that you are going to finish them. What you could not do with this, all this, what's that called, insecurity, you now want to finish them with the military.
But Barrister, there is a belief, or some quarters will say that the reason why there is so much military presence in the Southeast is because of the insecurities happening there by the unknown gunmen.
It was deliberately created. You know, when you want to hang a dog, you give it a bad name. What is the reason for the insecurity in the Southeast?
You said insecurity in Southeast was deliberately created.
It was.
By whom?
At least we have had Asari Dokubo and his group. They are telling us what the agreement they had with the federal government. So what did
Asari say they had?
He said he has a contract to be killing the Igbos.
He said
that.
He
even mentioned the area where they were operating and all that. That his boys are the ones, the unknown gunmen. So, I mean, by the way, what is the reason for insecurity in the Southeast? What is the problem there?
What is the reason for insecurity?
That is what we should be asking the federal government. Initially, we claimed it was Simon Ekpa. And we all cried that Simon Ekpa should be brought down. And
he has been in custody. So
yes,
let me ask you, as someone who is from that region, of course, you'll be getting information from that region. Has the rate of insecurity by the unknown gunmen reduced since Simon Ekpa has been in custody?
It has reduced, not because of Simon Ekpa per se.
Okay.
It is because the Southeasterners have devised another means of checkmate this, because the outright killing on the streets of the Southeast has reduced. But the Fulani herdsmen are still rampaging in the bushes and farmlands. They are still there. So in
the Southeast region,
we
saw women protest in Enugu State.
So all those things, who created them? Are they Southeasterners? Is the federal government not aware of this, what these people are doing? Why did they allow them to be carrying guns and be killing people? And when anybody wants to stop them or retaliate, the person is arrested, while the attacker is allowed to go free. So when you see all these things, are you not supposed to know that something?
These are the idiots who were calling for the head of Mazi Simon Ekpa. Today, they are the same people today crying in all corners, in all angles. They are still the same people today who are crying from pillar to pole. Any place you go, they are crying. The same people who were calling for the head of Mazi Simon Ekpa. Today, Mazi Simon Ekpa is no longer in the picture. You go to their station, the same cry is still what they are crying. That is how irresponsible some of them who call themselves Biafrans are. Some of them. Very, very irresponsible. They only come to their media to make noise, to draw attention to themselves, and to create awareness that is not going to yield anything for them. They try to make themselves relevant when they are irrelevant. Very, very irrelevant people, but they will try to make themselves relevant. And each time they do, they fail. These are people who have been complaining about Mazi Simon Ekpa. You complain. They were part of those who wrote petition that Mazi Simon Ekpa should be taken out. You heard him confess it there. And today he still have the gut to come on the conventional media to talk rubbish. And when he was asked, now that you remove Mazi Simon Ekpa, have you have the insecurity stopped? You said Simon Ekpa was your problem. Today he's not there. So what is going on? Why do you still have the atrocities of the Fulanis everywhere in the Southeast? Why? And as always, they will not have any answer. The only answer they will always give you is their propaganda, their blackmail, and their nonsense. It is a very sad situation, but no matter what happens, we will continue to speak and bring information out there for people to hear. So my fellow Biafrans, I appreciate everyone that have been part of this very program. Thank you so much for being part of the program today. It's been a kind of obstruction that we're having all day, but I'm going to try to rectify it. Hopefully by tomorrow, we're going to have a full-time program. So I thank everybody that have been able to participate today. And tomorrow, we are going to continue to make sure we get to the root of all the issues. Thank you so much, and see you tomorrow.
I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra. My right to agitate. My right. They turned it from Respectedy now to terrorism.
Breaking news reaching us now. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has been arrested, extradited to Nigeria, and is right now being arraigned at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu is facing charges bordering on treasonable felony instituted against him at the Federal High Court.
It was an unjust war.
Long ago, in the heart of Biafra, a nation was born from the ashes of war. A war that scarred the land and its people, yet it never killed the spirit of freedom.
The war aim of Biafra is purely to prevent ourselves being slaughtered, nothing more.
It was in this land, scarred by conflict, that Nnamdi Kanu was born, a son destined to revive the dream of independence for Biafra.
And if anybody is going to judge our success and failure in this war, it will have to depend on how much we have prevented the enemy from killing us.
Raised with the echoes of his ancestors' struggles, Kanu understood that the wounds of war ran deep in the hearts of his people. The scars from the Biafran War, which ravaged the land and cost countless lives, had never healed. The dream of an independent Biafra, broken but not forgotten, lived on in the hearts of those who survived. It was these voices, these memories, that called him to action. As Nnamdi Kanu grew, so did his voice.
These people
He became a preacher of justice, a messenger for those who were unheard. He spoke not just for his generation, but for all those whose lives were shattered by the war. The pain of the past was alive within him, and his words resonated with the cries of the oppressed.
That's why they're detained. Their children have been there for a very long time. Osman Abubakar is in detention. Mokhtar Umar is in detention. At DSS, they don't want to bring them to court. The families are here. Ibrahim Yahya is there as well. I was with them. Musa Kalamo is also there. Belief is also there.
But as Kanu's message spread, so did the fear of the establishment. His calls for self-determination grew louder, shaking the very foundations of the government. They feared the revival of a Biafran spirit, one that could awaken the wounds of the past and ignite a new conflict. And so, they moved against him. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, his body captured, but his spirit unbroken. The authorities believed that imprisoning him would extinguish the fire he had started. But they failed to understand the depths of his cause. The pain of the war, the bloodshed of the past, was not something easily forgotten. It was a flame that could never be fully extinguished. His arrest became a symbol of the struggle that began in the blood-soaked fields of the Biafran War. The demand for freedom was still alive. The fight for justice continued, not just for Nnamdi Kanu, but for all the lives lost, for all the children born into a world of scars. The fight for Biafra is not just his fight. It is the fight of all those who have ever dreamed of a free land. And though the past may haunt the present, the future is still unwritten. As long as the story of Nnamdi Kanu is told, as long as the voices of his people rise, the dream of Biafra lives on. Arrested again, 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 and yet again.
I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra, my right to agitate, my right. They turned it from treasonable felony now to terrorism.
This is Nnamdi Kanu speaking. Biafra land, listen. They thought they could silence me, but they didn't just cage me. They caged your spirit. They made you forget that our land still bleeds, that our people still suffer, that nothing has changed. 5 years in chains. But what about you? Are you not free? Or have they bound your voice with fear? The struggle was never about me, it was about you, your children, your land, your future. So I ask you, where is the fire that once burned in your heart? Where is the voice that once roared for freedom? Wake up! Rise again. Speak. Act. Remember who you are. This is Nnamdi Kanu.
On this day, we we gather round to honor the heroes, lest they be forgot by Biafra's soldiers.
To all Biafrans worldwide, from the Idoma to the Igede, the Igala to the Ogoni, the Ijo to Wanang, Orong to the Ekit, the Ikwere to the Igbo, and all Biafrans, mark your calendar. A historic moment is upon us. On Friday, May 30th, 2025, the United States of Biafra government proudly invites you, all citizens and allies of Biafra, to a 3-in-1 event to mark the Memorial Day of our heroes and heroines at the first ever Biafra Peace Summit and the inauguration of our DC administrative office, a beacon of hope, strength, and unity for all Biafrans.
Government, not the citizen, build them. We stand up one, united in our land. Guided